Good morning. My name is Eric Evans, and my wife Corey and I have been attending and members of Big Woods for many years, and previously was part of the Vision 2020 team. And here I have a nice update for you here this morning. 2 weeks ago, Pastor Tim announced Finish Strong, and this was an effort to finish what we had started in Vision 2020. You remember the wonderful video sharing the stories about the impact that this incredible facility has had on saving souls and bringing members to the Lord. Last week, you remember that Scott Heckman hauled mail as he covered the 4 remaining projects in Vision 2020. I think it's important to remember that these projects were always in the plan to complete. There were the bridge loan, the youth center, the carriage porch, and the upgrading of the parking area. As a quick recap, the bridge loan was just that. It was a bridge to cover the gap. We had a loan that we received from Fulton Bank, and that loan covered X amount. We still had an amount that we needed to cover, and as Scott talked about, the bank was able to use our pledges in our campaign and also our properties, put that into a bridge loan. And that bridge loan was offered up to $750,000. The good news is we only used $460,000. And now, after a lot of generous giving, we're down to $123,000. By being able to take that loan and fold it and not have to fold it into the big loan just saves a lot of debt as we move forward. That was the bridge loan. The second project was the dedicated youth center. And this is just space for our youth to be able to get together for their activities, but as important, it gives them a chance to bring others to the Lord, their friends in school, to be able to minister to them together. The third was the carriage porch. Quick story here. Recently, Pastor Tim had met a couple, and when they walked into this church, they walked into the lobby, they saw the incredible worship center, and they said, oh my gosh, this is just wonderful. We just thought it was a warehouse, right? So I like to think of the carriage porch as the front face of our church, which really gives a definition of the fact that it is a church. And it also provides a drop-off point and safety as people come up and are able to access into the church. That was the third project, and the fourth project was upgrading of the parking area. And while curbing and sidewalks and concrete are not flashy, they are important. They're important for 2 reasons, and those 2 reasons are access and safety. If you see in our area outside to the right here, you'll notice that the handicap parking is full every Sunday. It's so important that we have those spaces available. And in addition, if you've walked up the hill and you walked across the gullies, that's also a safety concern that's not going to get better. So those were the 4 projects. This week, I will present an overview of how the month of giving will work and ask all in the body to prayerfully consider participating at a level that's appropriate for you. You can think of it this way. Pastor Tim presented the Finish Strong is about. Scott last week talked about the why the 4 project, provided the cost estimates. I'll provide to you how you can participate in the giving. And next week, Bill Newman will provide a summary and also the when you can participate throughout the month of November. In thinking about participation, I believe it's important to acknowledge that giving conversations are very challenging in church. We've had members of our church say, you don't talk about giving enough. Yet we've had other members who said giving should never be emphasized. So we had the full gamut. Our elders have always maintained and believed that giving conversations should be handled with care and sensitivity, that we are transparent in communicating the need, and respect that each family pray fervently about what it means to them personally. As I talk to you about giving today, I'm going to ask for your prayer. Prayer that as I'm talking about this, that first and foremost, that it's pleasing to God, that it's also done in a way that is received well by you. Finish Strong will have 2 goals. Goal number 1, 100% participation. For reference, 55 family units participated in the Day of Giving last year, raising $119,000. We have 117 families who regularly give and attend Big Woods. While we give thanks for that incredible accomplishment, wouldn't it be great if we could all grab part of the rope, think of the widow's mite, and come together to celebrate 100% participation? This would be yet another milestone and reminder of how God has blessed this church, providing resources within his timeline for his vision. That's goal number one. Goal number two, a financial goal that would provide funding to complete all 4 projects that Scott reviewed. As a quick reminder, here are the cost estimates for each project, as well as the total to be raised. The cost estimates are the remaining amount needed minus any generous donations already received in support of the youth center, carriage ports, and parking lot. You can see those loans. You can see the projects. And really that $439,000, that can be a daunting figure. Now we have some very good news to report. The leadership team, consisting of both elders and those intimately involved within this project, decided to lead by example and have already committed $99,340 collectively towards this overall goal. There's more good news. In addition, the elders have decided to designate $120,000 from the Building Fund Reserve, this is not to be confused with the General Fund Reserve, and apply it towards the overall cost of the 4 projects, which leaves $219,660 to raise. Praise God. There is more good news. I'm thrilled to report that included in that $99,340 was a gift commitment of $23,000 to provide the remaining funding needed for the carriage porch. So before we start this month of giving, with the funding already received, we have funded both the bridge loan and the carriage porch. That is definitely a praise God. Now, good news, but it doesn't let all of us off the hook here. Right? So when we're thinking about 100% participation, our humble ask of you, the body, is for your prayerful consideration of a gift to this fundraising effort to help us meet both the participation and the financial goals. A few additional points of information and request. Although families are welcome to designate their gift to a specific project, we encourage you all to give overall to the Finish Strong project. And as funds become available, we'll complete the projects in the priority order set by the elders. And that's the order that's up on the screen. And that would start with paying off the bridge loan. Now, that does not mean the projects won't be going on at the same time. There'll be parallel paths there, again, as the funding is there. If helpful, you can make your commitment now, but you won't need to submit your actual gift until December 15th, when we pay off the loan then by year end. As I mentioned earlier, next week, Bill Newman will review the giving opportunities to provide a commitment card and information on how you can participate. But for you overachievers, if you want to make your gift now, after you've prayed with your family, you can do so online. There's a drop down for Finish Strong. You can also do it via check by writing Finish Strong in that category. Lastly, we humbly request that your Finish Strong be in addition to your general weekly or monthly offering. And here's the theory behind that. If you have $1 to give, please keep giving that to the church, to the general fund, which funds our ministries, funds our pastors, and all that keeps our church going. So thank you for hearing it that way. In summary, here's the calendar of events that will take place. I think you can read some of that, but this will be available after church if you want to see it. It starts back with when Pastor Tim announced it, and then Tim, myself, Bill, and there are going to be updates each week, stories of impact that this facility and successes has had in the community. In fact, the youth, I think you're already aware, are doing a fundraiser, and we'll be telling you about that. So praise God for that. In closing, I'd like to share just a brief story. I'm going to ask for your continued prayer because I have trouble sharing this story without tearing up because it involved our brother Jay. So like most of you, I was at Jay's service here with 500 other people. And afterwards, I was out under the tent. And while I was under the tent, I was in the back left corner. And you know how you look across and you see somebody that you recognize, but you're like, oh my gosh, I think that's Steve. So he noticed me, I noticed him, and we kind of weaved through the people to the middle of the tent. and got caught up because I haven't seen Steve since our kids played Little League together. And he said to me, "Is this your church?" And I said, "Yes, it is." He goes, "Wow, I've got a great story for you. I'm in a cycling club with Jay, and we ride all over the place." And Jay did. And when it came down to it, he goes, "We came up this way, and Jay veered off the route. He got off this exit, we wove it around, and he came up to this church, right in this area where this tent was. And he stopped. And of course, we all huddled around Jay to see, what's up? He went off route. He said, "Gentlemen, I want to share with you what's most important in my life right now, and that's what's going to happen because of this facility." So in closing, we talked about fundraising today. We talked about numbers. Really, it's about saving souls. So as you're praying with your family, my hope is that's what you'll think about when you think about your own stories of impact as you come and consider this campaign. Thank you very much for your time.